radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. And how you doing? Today's Thursday, May 26, 2022. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer, and UNX Networks. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? All right, it is Thursday, which means it is another Fader night with open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. And here we go. It is Thursday. It is another Fader night. And I'm always excited when we get to this day of the week, where we are right now, this day of the week. Thursday's the very best, the very best. Okay, so let me adjust this. Close enough, good enough for now. It's good. It needs to be up, right? It needs to point up more. It's on a little tripod, so I'm goofing around with it. Maybe it's on a little tripod. It's about this big. It's weird too. Same camera, same lighting, two different angles. Isn't that weird? Yeah. It's like one of those little crab cameras. It's a little crab sitting off to the side, viewing what is going on. It's open lines tonight, 747-228-2051. And whatever you would like to talk about, you know what it is, man. It's UFOs, it's time travel, it's conspiracies, it's lost history, the paranormal, the supernatural, of course, food, guitars. Yeah. All right. I've been battling the last week or so. I'm going to go down to about 4 days, 3 days. Brutal winds out here and allergies. Man, I have not sneezed so much in the last 24 hours. I've been sneezing all day today. So we'll see what happens during the show tonight. You can hear it, man. My head is just, what can you do? Claritin. That's about all you can do. My head is fine. My brain is fine. So I've got these new custom-made in-ear monitors. and they sound great. You can't see them because they're clear. They're molded for my ears, and they're perfect. This ear, it fits. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy. I can't even tell I'm wearing it. This ear, it's just a little off. It's just really, and so if it like gets a little crack of air in it, the stereo balance goes off and I can hear it. It's weird. But when it's sitting just right, it's like right there. Don't move, Jimmy. I'm going to sit here like this for the rest of the night. But it sounds great. Absolutely amazing. All right. Where am I at? Yes. I think everybody knows by now. We sold out our tour this October in Egypt with Billy Carson, but not this weekend, but next weekend, I will be in Detroit. I'll be in Detroit for the world premiere of Billy Carson's new film. It's called Black Knight, red carpet event. We have some tickets left and available for that. So if you would like to attend, we've got the links for it in social media over on our website. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, in the video description box below. And then 2 weeks after that, which is June 18th on Saturday, I will be hosting Disclosure Fest. That is June 18th, one-day event on Saturday, downtown Los Angeles at the Los Angeles State Historic Park. Disclosurefest.org for tickets and info. This is a huge event. And now it's already made its way into social media, so I can announce that next year I will be the host and MC for the Awakening Conference in Manchester, United Kingdom. And as I get more information, we will get all of that up on social media too. And the Conscious Life Expo is being put together right now, and I'll have announcements about that, which is, it's coming up quickly. We're already in May. That will be in February of 2023. So I've got some other things too that are bubbling and that are going to happen in 2022. So I will keep you posted as soon as everybody else gets everything together. I'll make those announcements. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow me right there. Follow me on Instagram, My World of Guitar, which is at Jimmy Church Radio right there on Instagram. Of course, Facebook and everything else that we've got going on. The links for everything are over at jimmychurchradio.com. All right. In front of me is Twitter and the Sandbox. And there's Kaz in this gas mask. I've been watching these tweets go down the last couple of days. Not really sure what's happening there with the gas mask there, Kaz. But she says, I finally got in the building. I got in the building. So, all right. Follow me on Twitter. Hashtag F2B is the Sandbox. It's live right in front of me. Hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions. All right. Now, let's get to the breaking news. Andy Fletcher, founding member and keyboardist of Depeche Mode, passed away today at the age of 60. Crazy. And then this news, Ray Liotta, of course, Goodfellas, just an amazing actor, died yesterday in his sleep at the age of 67. Both way too young. I also got word today. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. It's bad juju. So let's get this show cracking. On this day in history, 1897, the first copies of Dracula by Bram Stoker appear in London bookshops. 1897 on this day in history. Fader fact. This is crazy. And there's actually pictures of this online. the Forgotten Winchester. Okay. It was a rifle. It was found in 2014 leaning against a tree in the Great Basin National Park in 2014. It was manufactured in 1882. Its ammunition that was in the gun was dated to 1888. Who left it there is a complete mystery. Can you imagine walking through a national forest, right? And just seeing a cowboy, a Winchester, just leaning against a tree. So there you go. That's right. The drummer for Yes, Alan White, also passed away. And I don't know why. I just read over that. Alan White passed away, and Ray Liotta, right? Okay, I get that. And I could spend the whole show talking about Ray Liotta, Andy Fletcher, right? But Alan White, those early, I mean, for me, those early Yes albums, and especially the live album called Yes Songs, I would listen to those. And Alan White, for me, at that age, was a game changer, a complete game changer. And what Yes meant to me in my guitar circles and my friends and things, listening to the complexity of stuff. And it wasn't that long ago when I read about Alan's passing today. It's just weird that I did this. This was a couple of months ago. And I went through YouTube, and I was looking for concert footage of Yes from back in the day. And I just sat there and studied it for a day. I just spent a whole day watching live Yes concerts. And it was Alan White, man. You just keep listening. And yes, I get it. The songs and the vocals and the guitar. And yes, I Chris Squire. And I get it. I just kept listening to Alan White, the glue of Yes. And he passed away today. Absolutely crazy day. Crazy day. All right. The phone lines are open, 747-228-2051. I've already got calls on hold. You can go ahead and get in line and make your way in, 747-228-2051. Man, when this one is correct, like right now, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, see, let me see. You can't even see them. They're clear. Really nice. I mean, they sound amazing, man. Oofa. I can hear the allergies. They're that good. All right. Yeah, look at my eyes, man. Sneezing all day today. I was I had to make the rounds with the hummingbird feeders. It takes like every 3 days. You have to clean them and fill them. And the hummingbirds know. They know when the fresh hummingbird juice is coming outside. And I'm out there, and the hummingbirds are getting more and more daring. They trust me, and they don't care, and they know. So I'm out there, and I sit down. And there was 3 or 4 hummingbirds just buzzing, jockeying for position on the feeder. And I sneezed. Twice. Pow, pow. Hummingbirds didn't come back for like 30 minutes. Oh, man. Twisting up allergies. Yeah, allergies. I used to laugh when I was a kid. When I was a kid up until probably 7 or 8 years ago, I thought allergies were fake. You hear people go, man, my allergies are flaring up. I'm like, man, there's no such thing as allergies. I never had issues till about 7 or 8 years ago. Crazy. It's twice a year for me. Twice a year. All right. Allergies have been really bad this year. That's from Texas. That's from is that Mark from Dallas in the chat room? I haven't talked to Mark in a while. He must be inching closer to the phone. Yeah. All right. Where am I at? What there is as I started to get my thoughts together for today, and I'm looking at Ray Liotta, and it was just weird how I felt like I was affected by this. I was like, hold on a minute. How could I've never met Ray Liotta. You know what? Yeah, his movies are great. And so why am I like taking this personally? Like a pet died. And then Alan White. I'm like, why? What is it? What's going on? And I remember I did this long, I was so emotionally stressed out over a death. This was 7 or 8 years ago. And I did this long rant about how we needed to be careful now about our emotions when somebody dies. A celebrity, a hero, an artist, somebody that affects you personally and things. Because now, today, and especially in the last 10 years, where we've got reality TV shows and we've got live streaming and we have Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and we can interact with just about anybody, go into their homes and it's just weird, where suddenly we are a part of their lives. And before that, as close as you got to somebody, my world, let's say music, is like Rolling Stone magazine or Hit Parade or Cream magazine. That was it, and when MTV swang around in 1981, 82, it started to push us closer to these musicians, and we're like a part of their world, and they're live on MTV and they're doing interviews and the things but before that, it was difficult, right? It was just difficult. So unless you went to a concert, that was about as close as you got. And today, right, everything is so up close and personal. And so last week I go and last month, I'm watching all of these Yes videos, and then Alan White, I was like, and I took it personally. And what are we going to do? This is what is so fascinating. Ray Liotta, 67 years old. I'm 58. Right? When you're 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, nobody's dying. Nobody that you care about. And it's different as you get older, right? And we have to start taking a look at this, because I don't look at different musicians as being old. Eddie Van Halen, just died of cancer, and he's my age. It's not supposed to be what, right? Well, he wasn't supposed to get old. Neither was Ozzy or Gene Simmons or whoever you can think of, right? What are we going to do? Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And so I didn't want to talk. I was going to do this whole thing today and go through all of that in depth, and I decided not to. And I decided not to for a couple of reasons. One, I think that I appreciate how people listen to the show and listen to me. You take the time to come in and we're hanging out together, having this conversation like we're about to do tonight, right? On Fader Night. And so many listen to me so closely, which is something that I think we all want in a weird way. It's kind of a strange desire to have attention, people listening to you. But when you get to that point when people actually do, then you enter into another strange part of this world of broadcast, which is some people listen to everything and some people take things too serious. And then because they're taking things seriously, I'm not allowed to be human. I'm not afforded that. I'm not allowed to change my mind. I'm not allowed to progress. I'm supposed to be the same person I was 10 years ago. And I'm not allowed to grow or evolve or learn. And so if I say something 1 month and a month later I say something different because I've changed my mind, I'm not allowed to do that. Or if somebody wants to take something so literal, I'll say, isn't it ironic that Jimmy just said this about somebody's passing, or Jimmy said this about whatever, Bram Stoker, Dracula, because he said this before, now, yeah. And it's like, I'm almost, this thing about coming on the show and just being myself and just talking and let it hanging out. Even that is like in a dangerous zone. But aren't you allowed to change your mind? You, right? I can tell you, as a matter of fact, growing up, I hated asparagus. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand the smell of it. Couldn't stand the taste of it. Nasty. I love asparagus today. Asparagus is my friend. Now, I'm not going to do that with Brussels sprouts. That's not going to happen. But I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to evolve. And it's just bizarre, and and so, yeah, I've got this, it borders on morose. I've got this fear, like this Pandora's box, about what we are all going to start to go through when some of our heroes, artists, call them celebrities, actors, whatever, whoever we're paying attention to, somebody that has affected us growing up, who we have intimately become attached to, dies. The world, right? And will be affected. And should it be that way? Yes, it's okay. But I'm going to go through it too. I am you. And today, Alan White, man, Ray Liotta. Why am I so emotionally messed up about this? I really liked the guy. I never met him. The guy that played Henry Hill in Goodfellas, the way that he portrayed Henry Hill, a gangster, a violent dude. You liked that guy. You knew that was a cool dude. You knew him as a person, right? I never met him, but he was somebody like, you know what? I could hang out with that guy. That guy, he's all right. And I followed Ray's film career every time he had a role. And you go and you went, man, that's a real actor right there. That guy is a real actor. He is genuine. You know, and I'm affected. It's strange. It's just a strange feeling. Am I sad? No. I'm a little freaked out that he's 67 and I'm 58. I'm a little freaked out about that. Fletcher, man, 60 years old. 60. All right. So that leads me to this last little thing. Ray Liotta passed away in his sleep. He's filming. I think he was in Mexico. He's filming. He's in the middle of a film. He goes back to his hotel. He works all day, goes back to the hotel, doesn't wake up. Did he know that last night? No. I hope that he lived yesterday like it was his last day on earth. And that's where we all have to be. Your time is precious. Precious. Every second of every day. Brussels sprouts, yuck. I'm glad we are on the same page with that. All right, it is Fader night. It is Thursday. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer and UnX Networks. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's open lines all night long. Unscripted, unedited, everything. All night long. 747-228-2051. I'll be right back taking your phone calls right after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time. It's new. It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. All right, it's Thursday night. It is another Fader night with open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. You know the drill. It's your calls. It's your conversation. UFOs, time travel, conspiracy, the paranormal, the supernatural, pop culture, everything else that's going on in the world, whatever's on your mind. And let's see who is up first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Well, it's your allergy suffering brother, Mark from Dallas. What's up, brother?
Oh, so you were in the chat room for a reason.
I was hanging out waiting on my turn.
Oh, right on. I don't know how you managed to get in first with everybody that bombs in on at the beginning of the show. It's pretty funny,
bro. I've told you I got the Holy Ghost on my side. Jesus wanted me to go first, and who are we to disobey him? Well, we got to obey the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to. Number one. Number two, you don't have some secret phone number. You dial the same number that everybody else does.
Dude, I do work for the government. You remember that?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I can't go into it. The whole thing going on.
I would love to know what goes on in your world each day and like what you're doing right now.
Oh my Lord, pal. You know what, man? I'm living that YOLO life right now. I'm in the fourth quarter. I'm like, what the hell? I think I'll start smoking 2 packs a day. I've never smoked in my life. I'm just going to try it. I changed my gender twice today before lunch, just to see what it was all about. What the big deal is. I don't know, man. It's a weird world we're living in right now, brother.
It is. There are a few things that I used to really enjoy doing that I don't do anymore because of time. And one of them that I did this for my whole life. But I really got crazy with it over the last 30 years or so, which is build car models. Okay. And
I love doing that all the time when I was
man. And I'm telling you, airbrush kits, compressors, boxes of paints and brushes and colors and tools and little vices and clamps and so anyway, and lamps and magnifying glasses, and I really got into it. And I still have boxes. I'm talking about cases of cars that I've built over the years. I don't put them on display.
You still have them?
And then I really got into radio controlled cars and trucks, and 10th scale, 8th scale, 1/18th, and then even some micro RCs, a little bit into drones. I've got a few drones, but I was really into that. I mean, shocks and oil-filled this and spring gauges and and replace.
You know what I got into, man? Did you ever get into slot cars? Did y'all ever have in Cali, in LA, did y'all ever have like these huge slot car tracks?
Yes. Now, I didn't do that. I had friends that did. I did slot cars like everybody did when I was 10. All right. But HO scale. But as an adult, I didn't. I didn't do it.
It was a kid thing for me, but I was way into anything had to do with cars when I was a kid. I love cars.
Right.
Still do.
So the reason why I bring this up, so you're talking about changing your gender twice today, right? And you're ready to start smoking. You haven't. And I was sitting here this week going, I would really like to get back into model building and jump back into. I'm like, slow down, church. You know
what? That's a great idea, though.
I was tempted to do it, but my focus right now is trying to maintain these guitars, and I don't want to. I've been doing it my whole life, but I really enjoy the mechanics of putting a guitar on the bench, pulling the strings off, cleaning it up, quick fret polish, going through it, maybe changing a pickup. Adjusting it, putting it back together. It's like watchmaking. There's a certain it's like Zen and the art of guitar maintenance, right? Maybe I could write a book. And so it's a lot to keep these guitars maintained, and to pull them down, make sure it's got fresh strings on it, go through it and give it some love and play it. And it takes time. So I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to take away from these guitars to get into model building. I'm not going to do that. So there you go.
You sound just like me, man. I get off on a tangent on something. I drive myself crazy with, like, right now you mentioned watches. Right now I'm on a watch tear right now. I've got 20 watches I've bought over the last 6 months. And I don't know why, you just get on these things like you were talking about. But anyway, I digress. I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, I did, dude. I did watches for 20 years. I haven't bought a watch for about 6 months, which is that's heresy in my world, But yeah, I understand that. And there is something the same about a watch as there is about model building or guitars.
100%.
Yeah, there's something organic there. It's mechanical, and it needs to be maintained and things. And there's something about that where you attach yourself. There's a piece of your soul that goes into these things. And like I have this. Okay, you called me, but I've got this new guitar project, and I can't say too much about it, but I've got a very rare, one of a kind, semi-hollow. That's all I'm going to say right now. Okay, guitar. It's an electric, one of a kind, and it was built about 25 years ago. I've got the packing slip and everything for it when it was originally shipped. So, but it was never finished. So I have the original one of a kind body and neck, and the frets are in it. But it needs everything else: pickups, hardware, a nut. Everything has got to get installed. So I've got this project, and this is like a big deal. This is raw. I have to do the fret job. I have to level it out. I've got to do all the install. I got to pick the hardware. I've already got the bridge and stuff, but this is going to take me 6 months, to do. I don't need a model car project in the way of that.
That's like saying, I think I'll get into trains for the first time.
Yeah, right. Same thing. Same thing.
Man.
All right. So what's on your mind?
Well, man, I wanted to see if you remember something that ended up meaning a lot to me. I don't know how I started thinking about your interview with Corey Good. Now, I wanted Corey Good to be good. Man, I was pulling for him early on, and I'm like, man, I hope this dude is not full of crap. And you had some good interviews. You had some really good interviews with him because you played him just right. But he kept talking about the blue avians, right? And you started holding his feet to the fire, so to speak, like, well, give me more details. Tell me more about them. And you asked him the question that if you could have stuck a microphone in front of my face for 6 months, I had one question for him about the blue avians. You finally asked him. You said, what are the blue avians? What's their stance on the arts? Do you remember that?
On the what?
And the arts. What is their stance on music?
Oh,
and
okay.
That kind of thing. And that was the question I wanted to ask him. And he said, oh, man, they're way ascended past that. They don't listen to music. None of that means anything to them. And I remember thinking, I'm out. I'm out, man. Because music to the human animal, auditory vibration changes our mood. It changes our emotion. It can even change our pulse and our heart rate. Like if I listen to Edelweiss from Sound of Music, that's a very emotional. I've loved that song since I was a kid. I still do. It's very calming.
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, if you put Domination by Pantera, nice shirt, by the way. If you put Domination, the live version of Domination by Pantera, it's going to have the opposite effect on me. It's going to affect me physically, right?
Right.
So I don't know of anything else that does that to the human animal other than if you inject me with some type of a drug or something that I'm having to ingest. Simple auditory vibrations change us, can change the way we feel. Isn't that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. Why? And it's not only music, but it's anything with a sensory input.
Yes.
I mean, I've told the story before, but I'll say it again. And I know it sounds, almost strange to admit to this in public. But I was at an art museum here in LA, and I walk up, and it was about this big. It was a painting about a foot and a half wide. I don't think it was 2 feet. Well, maybe 2 feet wide, foot and a half tall. Small. Claude Monet. It's a Monet. And I'm by myself. I'm with a friend, but my friend is somewhere else in the museum. And I step up in front of and I'm the only one standing in front of this painting. And it's like gray and blue. It's like two colors with a little black in it, right? But it's like this this thing. But it's a boat on a small boat on water with like a guy in it, but you can't see any details. It was like misty, like this foggy scene, small. And I looked at it, and inside of like 3 seconds, it was instant. I started crying. And this lump, it was like this uncontrollable thing, Mark. It was crazy. And as this is happening to me, I'm like, you're not. Don't do this. And and that pain, that tightness in your throat, and the tears are gushing. And I pull down my sunglasses, And I'm white, and I'm looking around. I'm like, man, I hope nobody. and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It was like,
crazy?
and I've been in front of some amazing artwork, right? I've never had that happen. I've been affected emotionally, been happy, sad, whatever, scared, and you get these. I never cried. It was like, and my friend,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So my friend comes up, and she's standing next to me, and she goes, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Shut up, shut up." Shut up.
Of course not.
No. And so we do our thing, and we get back to we drove 2 cars, and you have to take a tram right up to the museum. And so we take the tram back down to the parking lot, and we're there, and we have our gift bags from the gift shop. And she goes, "Here, this is for you." And she hands me this bag. I said, "All right." Put it in the car, take off, drive home. I get upstairs and I walk in. I said, "I wonder what she got me." I pull it out. She got me that damn painting. She got me that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And it was framed too. And I pulled it out. I was like, "Oh man." Put that thing back in the bag, put that in the closet. It was like, I don't want to see that. Oh man!
Well,
so anyway,
I'm just glad you called him on that, because if ascension means no arts and none of that, I'm done. Because I use music to do at least temporary ascension, and the arts, and I've had paintings that do that to me as well. But mainly for me, it's music. Like one of the things during the pandemic that I really got into, and I don't know if you've done any of this. I'd be interested to know if you've done this, but I started watching YouTube, what they call reaction videos. Do you know what that? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I watch them all the time. Yeah.
And what I'm getting a kick out of, man, is mostly people of color, young people of color that grew up listening to rap and hip hop, that have never heard classic rock, that have never heard metal, especially, and watch them, the look on their face, man, when they hear some of this. Like Led Zeppelin for the first time. It's amazing.
Yeah. Led Zeppelin, that were Ozzy. They'll play some Randy Rhoads for him for the first time. Hold on. Let me share this with you.
Go ahead.
There is. I watched one with this orchestral conductor, white dude, listen to Yngwie Malmsteen for the first time.
Okay, I think that one.
Oh, did you see it?
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah. Watching his reaction, like, well, I've been doing it all wrong. That was pretty amazing to see his reaction to that. But yeah, so I watch those all the time. They're a lot of fun.
One of my favorites is a married couple. It's a white dude who's kind of a rocker, and he's married to a black woman who knows nothing about rock music, but she has the sweetest spirit. She's a beautiful, spiritually beautiful person, and just very, very wide open. And she would be someone that would probably listen to the show. But he says, "I want you to listen to this." He goes, "Have you ever heard of Pink Floyd?" She goes, "Yes, I've heard of them, but I don't think I've ever listened to them." So he plays this live version of Comfortably Numb, which is just this epic version that has an incredible light show with it. You've probably seen it, I don't know, but David Gilmour plays an extended lead ride at the end, so this huge light show can happen. So she's getting pummeled with David Gilmour, not only his guitar playing, but the harmonies. When David Gilmour comes into Comfortably Numb, his voice is so pure and so great, and then he's got the big harmonies behind it. And I get emotional when I listen to that song, but she starts sobbing, man, in the middle of it. And by the time this thing is over, she is crying her eyes out, and she goes, she made some of the most fascinating statements. She said, "This song is speaking to me." She goes, "This song now exists in every fiber of my being. I've never experienced." She goes, "I know this sounds crazy, but this music is communicating with me." And she's just crying, and I'm like, that. As a musician, that is where you're trying to get. That is what you're trying to do to your audience. And as a listener, that's where you and I try to get to while we're listening to music. You feel me?
I do. And here, you want to know the sad thing, and I've got calls on hold, but I love the way that this conversation is going. Pink Floyd, I basically did 2 Pink Floyd albums, and that was it. I did Animals and I did The Wall. But I didn't pay attention to anything else that they ever did. But Animals and The Wall are enough to mess your head up anyway, right? Okay, so anyway, but Dark Side of the Moon, I never gave it a shot. I didn't. And I had this friend, his name was Andy Seretna. He worked for Bell Labs. And I went over to his house. His dad was like the director of our division at Bell Laboratories. His dad was this big dude, and Andy worked at Bell Labs too. He had just graduated college. So I go over to Andy's apartment. I walk in, and he's got like in his living room, like 3 Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon posters in frames. I'm like, man, you're a little bit deep into this album, aren't you? You know,
I've got one on my wall as we speak.
Yeah. Like, it ain't all that. And he was like, what? Right. So anyway, I never gave it a shot. Today, you listen to Dark Side of the Moon today.
Oh, it's life-changing, brother.
Right? And now
40 years later.
And here is the deal. Man, 50. When did that come out? Right. That came out in 70 something.
Yeah, you're right. Early 70s, probably.
Yeah. So anyway, but here's the deal with that particular album. The other ones too, yes. But Dark Side of the Moon specifically, they didn't write that album for anybody. That album is personal. Those are personal lyrics. Those are personal insights. And it was a freeze frame of where they were at that point in time. And that's it. You know, a song like, Comfortably Numb, it's about heroin addiction. Right?
Yeah. That was his story. Yeah, I knew that was extremely personal.
Right. And another example is like Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's a song about heroin addiction. Mr. Brownstone. Now, I'm not talking about heroin specifically, but what I'm suggesting here is when an artist writes a personal song about their own trauma that they're trying to work through and their own addiction and to put that out, their heart and everything, that is written for the artist. They don't care if you like it or not. But because it's written in that personal pen, right? It affects people.
Well, there's someone else going through the
people understand
thing.
it. Yep. And that's why Dark Side of the Moon did what it did. It affected people.
Ordinary World by Duran Duran, and we've talked about Down in a Hole by the Jerry Cantrell wrote. It's the exact same thing.
Yep.
So that's why they're so hard hitting to people like you and I.
What was that? How much time do I have? Okay, let me go to Royal Tenenbaums soundtrack. You like my new mechanical keyboard? That thing is loud, man.
I can't believe you spelled Tenenbaums that quickly, man. I'm impressed.
Man. Okay. Needle in the Hay by Elliott Smith.
Okay.
Needle in the Hay by Elliott Smith.
Okay.
Got it. That's a song about addiction. That's a song from somebody that died of addiction, right? That song, I heard it for the first time, or I remembered it, I should say, in the Royal Tenenbaums soundtrack. I went, that's right, I remember that song. So I went back and did the deep dive into it and read the words. Oh, my God.
I need to go check it out.
Whoa. Yeah, that song affected me, man. Affected me.
I hear you.
Affected me.
Before I go, I know you're fixing to kick me out of the room, but really quickly, I want you to listen to something, and I'm going to lay these songs on you. Also, Dylan from Fort Worth, I know you're listening, pal, and he's a brother from another mother, too. I want you guys to listen to Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, okay?
Yeah.
And he has an album called Real Live.
Oh,
That's the album you need to pull up.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he does Voodoo Child is his opening track, but it's a different Voodoo Child than Hendrix did, and it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I've listened to it 50, maybe 100 times.
Oh my man! And he's got a I think track number 3 is called "He's Calling." He does some incredible guitar work on that. And anyway, I've been listening to that for about the last 2 weeks.
You're going back right there. You're going
I can't
back,
help it, brother. I'm an old guy.
Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush live. That was a good album cover too.
Great, yes, it is. He had the best hair in rock and roll, too, by the way.
Hey, man, he was Canadian, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Canadian, man.
He was a hockey puck.
And he could play he could play blues. He's got a version of Red House on that album that is just world class.
I know.
Incredible.
I know. He also did didn't he do Johnny Be Good?
Oh, I'm sure he did, man.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Before I let you go, I don't know if you caught this, but earlier this week, Alex Lifeson from Rush auctioned off his guitars for charity. And,
get out of
he auctioned off the one. He auctioned off the white 335.
Oh my God! What did that bring?
It was 350,000, I think. He auctioned off the white 335. Somebody's got that right now. I know.
I could not do it. I couldn't do it. That's part of him.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't do it.
Unbelievable.
I could not let that guitar go.
The white 335. I mean, jeez, man. And there's other things out there that are really cool. Whatever. David Gilmour's black Strat with the white pickup. I get that. There's some really iconic guitars out there. But man, I'm going to tell you something. Alex Lifeson's white 335.
That's about number 3 on the list.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I couldn't believe it. But all the money went to charity. So, yeah.
That's cool, man. Good. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Mark, behave and be well, man. Always great to hear your voice, my friend.
All right, brother. We love you. Love all the Fadernaughts, and we'll be talking to you again soon, brother. Hang in there with the allergies.
It's time to fade to black.
Fade to black.
I'll see you, Mark. Good phone call right there. Thank you so much. This is Fade to Black. It is Thursday night. It is Fader night. It is open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. I'll be right back after this short break.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community. And with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. And, man, I didn't get to my in-ears fast enough. I had to go pop these on. I love those in-ears, though. Those are great. They take a minute, though. You got to fidget. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. Anyway, 747-228-2051. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. Let's see who is up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, who's this?
How you doing? Vader Lord.
Hey, Vader. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, I was wondering about. Did you hear any like mixed messages about messaging for like any messages from space?
Say who? What? When?
What? Messages from space?
When?
It's been going on for quite some time.
Tell me more. Tell me more. You've got my attention.
It's
Turn me down in the background, Vader. Turn me down in the background. You'll never be able to get through a phone call.
Sure. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you're listening to yourself. Okay, all right.
Right. Okay. Anyway, I was just wondering. There's some big communications coming from. I forget what star it is. I think it's the one that exploded. But it's still there, and it still has. It's still like there. But I mean, I don't know.
What's the transmissions that you're talking about?
It's just like where they're coming from, the communications from the, I guess, SETI.
When did you hear about this? Nobody's mentioned
on the news a few times.
On the news?
Yeah.
On the news, you heard that we are getting communications from a star that exploded?
Yeah. Yeah, it's near us, but I mean it's like 3 billion light years away. Not really near, but
What did the communications say? And what do you mean this was on the news?
it's just a persistent. It keeps going stronger and then lighter and stronger. It's like a stretch. It's just like it just will just it's like it's almost like solar flares when if it's going to hit Earth, but it doesn't. It's something to that degree. I don't know. But it's some type of communication that they've been talking about.
Well,
that they've been receiving.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything about it. So I wish you had some more information, and
I know.
I could look it up. I
wish I had a moment.
So maybe somebody will post something. They'll pop it up in Twitter, and they know what you are
I send
referring
sometimes
to.
some stuff to your Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll try to find it over the weekend. But yeah, I have no idea. You got my attention though. Let's see what happens.
All right. Okay.
I'll talk to you, Vader. Have a great weekend.
Yep. You too.
Time to fade to black. That's what I'm talking about. I haven't heard. Does anybody know about this radio transmission? I think he said 8 million light years away. I haven't heard anything about this. Jimmy has a fast working radar. I do. Repeating radio bursts. Well, yeah, those happen all the time. It's fast FSBs, fast radio burst. But here's the thing. Remember, 8 million light years away. That star may or may not be there anymore. We're seeing it now, 8 million years later. So whatever it is, we're seeing that in 8 million years ago. Right? So interesting, though. I would like to know more about it. I haven't heard anything. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is John.
Hi, John. Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm calling from Connecticut, Jimmy. Got a question for you.
What's on your mind?
You think Lou or the government has any observations of the moon with UAP?
Well, the short answer, yes.
Any answer you want to give.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes. I don't know about Lou, but the government, sure.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the government does, but I mean, Lou's never mentioned anything about the moon or anything, like observations that ATIP did, right?
Well, this is if we're going to look at this in a more logical viewpoint, ATIP is dealing with stuff in our atmosphere. Okay,
only our atmosphere.
Yeah, what's flying around in our skies. So that and what would be a threat to us. I don't know specifically. I can ask Lou. Were they observing stuff in space? Right?
Exactly.
That I don't know. Now, our government, we have astronomers that are looking at the moon every single day. We've got things orbiting the moon now, mapping it, photographing it. We have the lunar survey going on, and that stuff is happening all the time. So
even on the dark side?
Of course. Well, the dark side's not dark. The dark side is lit up just like the front side,
No, I know. It's dark to us.
Yeah, it's dark to us. Yeah, but no, we're observing the other side too, as well, of course.
One more other thing.
Yeah.
You notice how everything like starts going good with UFOs, and then boom, something tragical happens, and now Congress is all focused on the tragedy that happened over there in New York and Texas over there now.
Sure.
It's a bad thing that happened, but just a coincidence that all of a sudden, first it was the $3 trillion missing, and then 9/11 happened, and then the UFO Congress thing, and and then it was all gone after that, and we had to wait another 10 years for it.
Look, it happens every day with everything all the time. And look, the war in Ukraine has been the headlines for 3 months, as it should be, right? And it's not the headline anymore.
Right, it's a new flavor of the month.
And
where did coronavirus go?
So, coronavirus, there's a good example right there. So, the media is seeking clicks just like everybody else, and that's just it, man. And so, what is going to keep the attention on their network? And things constantly change. And now what happened in Texas, that was horrible. It was tragic. And yes, and we will always have something overshadowing something else. And it's just the way that it is. And especially now, over the last 5 years, where we have gone through, if you just stop and think, what this nation and the world has been through in the last 4 years, everything from, don't forget about the riots and George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. And what was that? What was that? Occupy Portland,
Wall Street.
Portland. Remember they had the
Portland. You're
right. So we went through all of that at the same time. We went through an election cycle. On top of that, we were going through impeachment hearings. On top of all of that, we were going through coronavirus. On top of all of that, we were going through hurricanes and natural disasters. We're going through nuclear missile launches. Yeah.
What's next? The asteroid or what?
And I can keep my foot on the gas with that. It was one thing after another. How many hurricanes went through the Caribbean? You remember that? One after another. It was absolutely nuts while we're dealing with everything else that was going on at the same time. And the devastation that went down. And then the wildfires, half the United States went up in flames.
That was terrible,
I shall I continue? You know what I mean? And
you're right, Jimmy, as usual.
It's just the way
I wanted to tell you, man, you're a great guy. I love listening to the show. I'm a longtime fan. Thanks for taking my call. And I look forward to seeing you do more work.
Yeah, John, behave and be well, man, and enjoy your weekend.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
It's time to fade to black. John from Connecticut. Yeah, I remember this was probably as things started to unravel. I'm going to say 6 years ago. And I started to make a mental note, and I was mentioning this on the air, how the next day's headlines were going to be crazier than the day before, right? And so I did that with all of you. And I was like, okay, so check this out. You thought yesterday was nuts? This is what's happening today. And I did that for a few months, just seeing if the news could literally outdo itself every 24 hours. And it did. It was absolutely crazy. During the break, before I get to the next phone call, I was listening to Carolyn Ford's commercial, and I went and grabbed Zeus. And I just wanted to show this to everybody. If you didn't see the unboxing video, this is the latest skull that I got from Carolyn Ford. And he's just sitting right here next to me, and he's stunning. And I just wanted to share it. He's got a lightning bolt. He's Zeus. He's got a lightning bolt on his back. It's very heavy. It's probably 5 or 6 pounds. But I just wanted to show that to you real quick. There's Zeus. Okay. Oh. These allergies, man. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh, dropped the call as I picked it up. Somebody got nervous. Somebody got nervous. Hi, turn me down in the background.
Sorry.
Okay. You're live.
Hi, it's Jessica Rodriguez.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Good. I've been dying to ask you the question. So it's going to be your birthday when you go to Egypt.
Yep.
How are you going to feel about going to Egypt, seeing Egypt, going in the pyramid, and it being your birthday?
You know, I've been trying to mentally prepare myself for it. You know what the good news is, Jessica?
What?
I won't be in the Great Pyramid. If I was going to be in the King's Chamber on my birthday, that I don't know if I can handle that, man. I don't know. I'm going to be in Luxor for my birthday. So
that's still an amazing
yeah,
sight.
no. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Is it not? But I just want to say, King's Chamber alone on my birthday. No, my nerves can't handle that. I'm
not. But you won't be alone. You'll be with Billy Carson and the whole crew. You know that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I thought about that part of it. I'm really happy that it's going to be in Luxor, number one. And number two, we're going to be spending the night in Luxor on the boat, right? On the ship, on the cruise ship. So we'll be able to celebrate with everybody on the boat that night. And that's going to be really cool and very, very special. So
is that going to be live? Are we going to get to see that?
Yeah, of course you are. I wonder what the time difference. I wonder what the time difference is.
I've been wondering. I'm like, are they going to do it live? I'm like, did he mention it before and I missed it? Like, are we going to get to see it? Or, are we going to get to be on a live chat and say, happy birthday, Jimmy? Yeah, you're in Egypt. Like,
right.
I'm excited for you because I've been dying to go to Egypt. I love everything Egypt. I've been doing research on Egyptian mythology for 20 plus years. I'm almost 40 years old and I got 6 kids and, I'm all in there with the research about everything and anything, and the show with Christina you guys just did about the Buddhism and everything. I've been getting heavy into those Bhagavad Gita books and the Atra Hasis and the Enuma Elish. I got the Bhagavad Gita book. The Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata. I got the Ramayana. I got so many books to read on that. And I've got so many Egyptian books and I've got so many Greek mythology books. Like I have a collection going on. But anyways, I'm just like, oh my God, it must be amazing to be going to Egypt. Like I would be like over the moon if I was going to Egypt on my birthday.
Yeah, well,
so I was like, I just have to ask Jimmy how he feels about that.
Yeah, I am completely over the moon about it. And here's where I'm going to be straight with you, Jessica. I'm just going to lay it out there. I've got so many friends that have been to Egypt, right? And so I'll be out to dinner and, with 8 or 10 people, and 6 of them have been to Egypt, right? And I'm listening to them talk about this and this and this and this. And I'm the odd man out, right? I can't contribute. Finally, I'll be able to go, yep.
I went there on my birthday.
Yeah, the Great Sphinx is pretty great. So
yes, it will be.
So I want to be able to do that and to connect. I love asking the questions, but to be able to approach this now from another angle, which is sharing the experience and then asking questions. And I can only imagine. I was crossing the street here in LA with William Henry. We were walking to dinner, and the little button across the street, the crosswalk button, and I pressed that, and we're standing there for a second, and he turns to me and he goes, "So Jimmy, man, you're going to Egypt?" And I go, "I am." And as we're crossing the street, he goes, "You're not going to be the same." And I think he said to me, "I've been there 40 times. And it's better every single time that I go. It's going to change you." And that was from William. And
yeah,
and I just
can imagine.
Yeah,
I've watched a lot of his shows and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing.
It's going to be great. Jessica, I really appreciate that. And I'm going to live stream as much as I can. And there you go. I want to share the trip with everybody, as much of it as I can. I have no idea what the cell reception is in the middle of Saqqara. I don't know. But
hopefully it's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Enjoy your weekend, Jessica. Yep. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks for calling. Thanks for answering.
I'll talk to you. Jessica Rodriguez. Thank you so much, Jessica. It's time to fade to black. I literally had those words said to me from William Henry. It's going to change you, man. It's going to change you. He looked right at me and said it. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi, Jimmy. This is Otto from San Diego.
Hi, Otto from San Diego. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Hey, I know that all this week has been pretty much, the UFO stuff and everything from last week too. Great shows. Was wondering if you'd be up for 2 quick Yngwie Malmsteen stories.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, I've been a bass player since, 1988, and 1991, I was talked into entering Guitar Trader's Guitar Wars down in San Diego. I don't know if you're familiar.
I know Guitar Trader. Yep, I do.
Okay. So as a bass player, I spent a couple of months putting together a piece, knew I was going to do this, performed, had a great time. Yngwie was the judge, the celebrity judge for that event.
Right.
And what wound up happening was I came in second, which is fine. I thought, very respectable. I thought that was great. What got me, though, is that the owners of Guitar Trader came up to me afterwards and it explained to me that Yngwie did not want a bass player winning Guitar Wars. So that's why I didn't win it.
Wow. That ain't right.
And so no, it's not right. But, it's one of those things that from years on, yes, I enjoy his music. I appreciate what he does. But at the same time, I'm kind of sitting there going, yeah, all right, yin yang. That's fine.
Yeah, yin yang. What year was that?
I think it was 91. So it's as my 100-year-old grandmother would say, it's been 100 years ago.
Right.
But
did you get a chance to meet him and hang out that day?
Everybody swarmed him back then because, he was, you think Yngwie Malmsteen. So didn't get a chance to really meet him back then. But then fast forward 2014, 2015, I was the road manager for a band in San Diego called RDG.
Okay.
The Raymond DiGiorgio group. Based off like your bumper music, man, you'd probably love this guy for the stuff that he does. You'll go ahead and look him up. But we were opening a show for Marigold, Bumblefoot, and Yngwie headlining.
Okay.
And at the Ramona Main Stage in San Diego. And first off, when we got there, we'd been doing this for a while, but we get there and Yngwie required 4.5 hours for sound checks. Just him. None of us could enter the venue. None of the other bands that he was touring with could enter the venue until he was done. And so it's like, okay, that's fine. Then about 2 hours before doors open, I guess it's in Yngwie's rider, or used to be, that he had to have sugar-free Red Bulls and non-fat, non-dairy cheese in his green room. I was like, okay.
All right.
The promoter, Ramona's not a very big town. It's a small town. And so nobody out there, it's all pretty much agriculture. Nobody's going to have, they'll have the Red Bulls, but they won't have the cheese. So the promoter had to drive 55 miles each way to go and get this cheese and stuff, drive almost down into San Diego proper to get this stuff for him. Otherwise he wouldn't go on stage.
Really?
And the other, and Bumblefoot, who I got a chance to hang out with, and great dude. Same thing with the people from Marigold. They came up to him and said, if you don't knock this off, we're going to cut the tour early. And we're done. Because I guess he'd been doing it for the past 6 stops. So anyways, just it's one of those things. I know you just went and saw him, and I'm not trying to crack on Yngwie because he makes a lot more money than I do. So,
yeah,
but it's just one of those things that, 30 some odd years later, I'm going, dude, you're the same person you were when you wouldn't let me win as a bass player.
Yeah, we've all heard the stories about Yngwie over the years, and other rock stars too that tend to be like this. But I was only with them one-on-one for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, this past Friday. But I'm gonna say, cool dude. Down. I mean, he was happening.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, he was cool.
Oh yeah.
He was. I mean, I was like, I was expecting something. I didn't get it. I didn't get the Yngwie treatment. It didn't happen.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Well, and at least I would have had that story. Yngwie broke my guitar. Or whatever,
right.
Yngwie kicked me out of his dressing room, or Yngwie knocked something over, whatever. No. Dude was something. Yeah. The dude was cool. He was cool. No, I ain't got nothing bad to say. The first time that I've only got about 30 seconds left, Otto.
Oh, not a problem.
The first time that I met him, and I meant to mention this to him on Friday, and I just spaced it. But was when I was getting my hair cut, and at Long Hair Rocks in Pasadena. And so I'm getting my hair cut by Robert Rickley. He's the owner, and Robert's assistant, Robert, is cutting my hair, and his assistant comes in. Yngwie's manager just called. Yngwie's going to be here in 15 minutes. And I'm sitting in the chair, right? I was like, did she just say that? And I'm like, Robert, I'm thinking to myself, don't finish my hair.
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah, slow down. And it wasn't even 15 minutes later. Yngwie comes in, and Robert tells his assistant, prep that chair. And he points, for Yngwie. And so Yngwie comes in. He sits down right next to me, and we're both, you got the mirror in front of you, right? So we're looking at each other, all right? And he goes, what's up? And I go, not much, right? And he was cool. And that was 1985. Oh, yeah. That was at the peak of the cockiness. But I haven't seen it yet. We've all heard the stories though. Otto, enjoy your weekend.
But you hear about everybody.
Yeah.
You as well, man. Have a great holiday and fade to black.
I'll talk to you. That's right. Otto just brought it up. Happy Memorial Day. It is Memorial Day weekend, everybody. And right? Is that, I suppose so. It's not going to be next weekend. So it's this weekend, right? Right? Do I have it? Yeah. Wow, crazy. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. It is open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Key, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fader Nights, open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I've actually got phone lines open now. I've got calls on hold, but normally I don't have any open lines. And so if you want to get through, now's the time to do it. 747-228-2051. And it's your calls, your conversation. Let's see who is up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy friggin' Church. Hey, man. This is Ben from NOLA, from New Orleans, Louisiana. How the heck are you, man?
I'm doing good, Ben. What's on your mind?
Not much, man. The first thing I wanted to say was it's been a while. It's been a minute. I've still been listening, but since I've been back to work, I don't have the time to interact as much as I used to. But I'm still listening. So, faithful fate or not.
Right on.
I wanted to call and mention one of the previous callers was talking about a signal or something that came from outer space.
Right.
Like millions of light years away. I didn't find anything on that. The most recent thing I found was something to do with a fast radio burst that was, this is back maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, that was millions of light years away. But I couldn't find anything recent, not only in the mainstream news. I mean, I scoured the web since that time and the time that I've been on hold waiting to get on. So I don't know what that call was about. I was just as intrigued as you were, and I was like, "Hey, this guy's got my attention." So
right,
I don't know if anybody hears anything. Please let us know.
Yeah, well, there was the report that came out, but I talked about it on the air 2 days ago about the WOW signal coming from Sagittarius.
Right. That's the only thing that I knew too. I thought everybody knew about that. I thought he was talking about something other than that, but maybe that's what he meant. I don't know. The other thing I wanted to say real quick was I was so happy to see John Michael Gauthier on your show. I've been listening to him almost as long as you, and I had mentioned in his Event Horizon YouTube channel comments that I have my favorite radio guy ever in you, and then my favorite podcaster and John together. So it was just, ecstatic for me, being a physics guy and all. And of course, being part of the UFO community or whatever, ufology. I was really excited to see that. I thought it was one of the best shows I've ever heard either one of you do together. And I'm looking forward to, more collaboration or you being on Event Horizon. So I just wanted to say that thanks for that. And it was a really special show and it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, Ben, it meant a lot to me too, as well. And it was, many years in the works too, which is the funny part. And to finally have it happen, I was just like a little kid, like the rest of you. I was thrilled. His methodology, the way that he approaches the subject on the Event Horizon, which I listen to religiously. I love that show. Him and Isaac Arthur. I'm constantly listening to those two guys, and
Isaac's great.
Yeah, Isaac's amazing, and so I knew that conversation with John was going to be amazing. I also knew that there were too many subjects that I wanted to talk to him about. And it would kind of dilute the in-depthness that we would normally do if we did one subject. So the next time that he's on, we'll talk about time travel for 2 hours, or we'll talk about exoplanets for 2 hours, whatever the subject is. This time around, we had to get everything into one show. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun.
Yep, I enjoyed it, and like I said, I'm looking forward to more, hopefully in the future, seeing him back on your show or vice versa. So I'll definitely be there. And the last thing I have for you is in the I guess guitar player realm, since I'm a guitar player, and you have gazillions of guitars and you love guitar. My favorite album from 1987. I've been listening to it a lot lately. Def Leppard, Hysteria. What do you think about that album?
It's a great album. It's a great album, seminal album. And for them, they did a run from 82 to like 1990 where they just got better and better and better and better and better and better. And Hysteria was it's just one of those albums where everything came together the way that it should all at one time. So yeah, I'm in agreement there. That's a strong album. Their first album, the first album with Pete Willis, that album is great too, though. And you go and listen to, for a freshman album, first album, and they were all kids. That Def Leppard at that time. Most people don't realize this. I think the average age of Def Leppard was like 17, 18 years old. They were all kids. And so by the time Hysteria came out, they were still 22 years old. They were still kids, and the writing was so fresh.
I love every song from start to finish. Woman all the way to Love and Affection. Like almost every song could have been a single. The way I look at it, that's how good the quality of the songs were. And, it's just like one of those few albums that, there's many that I can listen to start to finish, but sometimes I'll skip a song, not on that album. So it's definitely one of the greats.
Yeah, there were some bands if you look at 1987 and think about what was cranking out at that time, it was such a period of creativity. You had Dokken, you had Warrant, you had Great White, you had Guns N' Roses. This period of, I can go on and on, Slaughter, right? Everything was just like happening at the same time, and the ability in rock and roll to just do your thing, just do it. And it exploded, and Def Leppard was right in the middle of that. It was just so much fun. It was a great time for rock and roll. White Snake, I could go on and on and on. It was just an amazing period of rock and roll for sure. Well,
I thought you would like that one.
I appreciate it, Ben. You enjoy the rest of your weekend.
I will, Jimmy. And hey, it's time to fade to black.
It's time to fade to black. Ben from New Orleans. Thank you so much, my friend. 1987, man. I think about that. I had my band at that time. I still have somewhere, the classic band T-shirt. And I think on the back it says 87 World Tour. When we played Hollywood, that's all we ever played. But 1987, Foo-Fa. Oh man, it just seemed like everything was happening. Yeah, that was a good year. That was a really good year for rock and roll. I always go back to Dokken. All right, let's go. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Sally from Texas.
Hi, Sally from Texas. How are you?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. I'm doing good. I was just going to say props for you guys mentioning Corey Good. I haven't heard anything else about him since the whole Blue Avian thing, so just wondering what he's doing. But nonetheless, I saw your T-shirt, and I wanted to tell you my little Pantera story if you have a minute.
I do.
Awesome. First of all, is that a real Pantera shirt?
Nope. Well, yeah, it is. I'm wearing it. It's a real
Well, I meant
shirt.
is it from a concert?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, well, because Dimebag was the biggest, coolest rocker guitarist that would always buy his set of the T-shirts that were the ones that were the bootlegs. He was so famous about having the best damn bootleg T-shirts of all time. Like, he would go to the flea markets, he would get all the best T-shirts, and I thought that was really cool about him.
Are you watching me on the big screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this just for you. Are you ready, Sally?
Yes, sir.
Bam.
There's delay, but it's coming.
Okay. It's a
Oh my
dime
God,
bag.
don't tell me.
Yeah, it's a dime bag Dean. And you know what's really cool? So it's got everything, right? It's got the tape here for the pickup. It's got the Kiss sticker. And the best part, though, it's got the Think.
Yeah.
The Think sticker that he did.
Man.
How cool is that?
That is so cool. I always wanted to get the slime one, but unfortunately, I didn't have all that cash to get the slime. It came out probably like a few years late. I'm not sure if it came out when the Goldburst came out or the Sunburst, but the slime was actually my favorite color, so that's the one I wanted, the lime green slime, but I didn't get it.
I like the slime too. What's funny is I have a picture right here. You can't see it, but I have a picture of Dime playing that guitar, and it's
awesome.
It's pretty cool. Okay,
awesome. But
okay,
the guys were they're really sweet people, and being from Ennis and then growing up in Pantego, they frequented the local bars and stuff, and so like growing up going to Dallas City Limits off of Northwest Highway in the Loop, you know, you never knew who you were going to run into. We ran into Solinger, we ran into Blackstone. And one night I was there because I used to hang out with Big Rob, the DJ. And he said, just hang out, you know, Vinnie Paul and Dime are going to be here.
What?
And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here. Right. So here we were, me and my girlfriend, and we had our LEIs on, you know, we had our Doc Martens and we had our little cutoff shirts, and we were like, you know, we're hanging out with the cool people. And so then like all of a sudden Vinnie Paul and Dime walked up and they had these cowboy hats on. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know, I mean, is this the cowboy from hell, like Take Back or something? But they all of a sudden 2 girls run up and they were Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And I said, oh, okay, I get it. And then so like, you know, they just like were like standing there, and we were just like standing there. And I wanted to say, like, you guys are the coolest. Can you please sign my t-shirt and all this? Can I go backstage and can I hang out with you guys and everything? Because that's what you do when you're like a super groupie fan. And like my voice got paralyzed. I could not say a word. I'm not lying. I just like smiled and was like, oh my gosh. And that's all I kept saying. And like Phil, like not Phil, but like Dime and Vinny just looked at me and they just started laughing, and they were just like the super coolest guys. And then like, you know what they did? They bought a round of shots for the whole club.
Notorious for doing that, by the way. I never met either of them. Okay, I didn't. And it sucks. But Vinny, and this is can I just speak matter of factly? Vinny is probably the best drummer that didn't get the due that he did, that he deserved. And he was so great. And those 2 brothers, right, in the same band at the same time. Oh my God. You know, and just stop and think about that. Pantera was so great. Not good.
I don't believe that either one of them got justice, because like, I mean, like they didn't really get like super popular. I mean, like they were, of course they sold millions of albums, but they were like so laid back that it was just like they were so touchable. I don't know if that really had anything to do with it, you know, because they were just like those guys that would have parties and you would like to have a backstage pass to their house.
Yeah, and here's the trippy thing. Guitar players and metal fans gave Dimebag his due, right? But was Dimebag in the same conversation as a Randy Rhoads or an Eddie Van Halen or Steve Vai or Yngwie Malmsteen? And he wasn't. And was it because he was in this metal band? I don't know. And I'm not too sure. Today, I think he's there. I really do. I think he's gotten that status. But while he was alive, no, I don't think so. And the same thing with Vinnie Paul. And was it because it was just Pantera and it wasn't, you know, big for the masses? I don't know. I never really figured that out. And in the end, when we look back, Randy Rhoads was so important. But if you think about it, if you go outside of the circles of rock and roll, where the rest of the world knows who Jimi Hendrix was, right? Or they know Stevie Ray Vaughan, right? Would they know who Randy Rhoads is? Probably not. And that's and Dimebag is like that. In our circles, we know what time it is. But should Dimebag be talked about like Jimmy Page or Jeff Beck? I say yes. He was a game changer. He was a game changer. Cowboys from Hell. I mean, Cemetery Gates. If you think about the concept of what I'm laying out here, we're talking about 1992.
Yeah.
92. 22.
Yeah.
There was nobody doing that back then. It didn't exist. And
no, and their music just, it just kept evolving, like getting louder, getting faster. His shredding was crazy. His shredding was like, when he was 14, 15 years old, he was knocking out he was winning all these contests. And, and people were scared of him, actually. They were just like, wow, this dude is like, where's he coming from?
Well, here's the other, if you, can we go deep? Back then, he was a pretty boy. Right, he was a pretty boy. He was a pretty boy, and and the original versions of Pantera, that was a Aquanet, Sunset Strip pop metal band, pop rock.
Yeah,
and to go and they were trying to, I don't want to say anything incorrectly here, but they were just playing what was popular. When they decided to do what they wanted to play from the heart and what their songwriting, what they really wanted to do, that was the real Pantera. I'll never forget the first time I heard Cemetery Gates, right? I remember I had headphones on. Somebody turned me on to the CD, and I was like, this is different. Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt when I listened to Mouse for War. Ooh. Mouse for War, that was one that was just like, I just can't stop listening to it.
Yeah.
But I really just wanted to say that really quick and make it short. To make it short, I just wanted to say one thing that I do remember is listening and hearing about his death, that was so tragic. That guy that shot him, the Gale, the Marine and stuff like that, shot him 4 times. But him and his brother had code on stage, and the code that they would say when they were like really gonna rock out, like they were really feeling like they were really feeling it. He would say Van Halen, and he turned around to his brother and he said Van Halen, and then he got shot 4 times. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy that he would give props to Eddie, before he passed away.
Yep, and Eddie Van Halen's yellow and black Bumblebee guitar, the original, that got buried with Dimebag. Eddie put that in his casket. Well, Sally, enjoy your weekend.
Hey, take it easy, and we can't wait to hear some more stuff from you, some Fate or Not stuff. So we're excited.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Sally.
Bye.
That's a phone call from Texas. I could talk about Dimebag all night long. Dimebag Darrell, man. And I'm being very serious. I was somebody gives me the Pantera CD, and I was in my studio in Hollywood. And I put the headphones on, and there was some talk, there was some chatter going around about Pantera, and I, so I knew that there was something there. I definitely knew that, but I put that on, and I'm listening to Cemetery Gates, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I knew then, and it was the style. It was the approach to music that was so mind-blowing to me. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, this is Walter from Texas.
Another call from Texas. How you doing, Walter?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to tell you, in Vegas, we did good. I don't know if you've seen the photos. It was Black 22.
Yeah, I heard.
Black 22.
I heard.
Yep.
I heard. Yeah, well done. Well played.
And I didn't call last week. I was over there in Vegas, and I got the COVID, so I was recovering last Thursday.
Okay.
So
are you done with it? You feel better?
I'm done. Oh yeah, I'm back 99%. Just a little bit tired, but not. Tomorrow will be better. I'm done with it.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I heard Black 22. And what was that movie with Brooks? Lost in America, Black 22. You don't remember that? Albert Brooks, Lost in America, his wife. Yeah, she blows the life savings on roulette in one night, betting on Black 22.
I never seen it. I gotta look it up. I never seen that
Lost
movie.
in America. Lost in America. All right, I got 2 minutes before the break, Walter. What's on your mind, man?
Jimmy, we live in a crazy world right now. We got wars, we got shootings, and I think this has been going on since the beginning of time. We have war, famine, then we have innovation, war, famine, innovation, and it's been going since millennia. Now we're in the war phase. Hopefully we hit another innovation phase. But what I want to talk about is each one of us needs to identify our core values at this time. And it's not, other people's core values. It's your core values. Now, some people might want to use the 10 Commandments, which is good. That's what they want to use. But I've been thinking about mine. And number one in my core values is taking care of my body. And I was thinking about this before I got the COVID. So that's my core value. Number two is recognize people, as people and recognize them. Don't just walk by them if they're, working hard or something, say hi. And what I've been doing lately is when I, traveling and stuff, I tell the pilots, thank you for your hard work. I tell the stewardess, thank you for your hard work. So just recognizing people around you. I think we walk around, we see the barista, and we say hi, and then that's it. So just being more personal with each other. And let me tell you this, Jimmy, when you tell that to people, it makes their day. It makes their day that somebody recognized them.
That's it. That's the way it should be. And I've always done that naturally. I've never really thought about it. I'm always talking to whoever I see. If I make eye contact with somebody, I say hello. I don't make eye contact and look away and walk past them. I don't give a crap who they are, what they're doing. I don't care. I will say hello. And sometimes I'll take it beyond that. And I've always done that naturally. I know that when I've been through some hard times in my life, okay, I have. I'm no different than everybody else, okay? I have. And when you go through those hard times, you figure out really quickly how invisible you can be, right? People don't give a crap. And that is the worst feeling in the world. And I totally get that. I totally do. And I won't let that happen with me. And I constantly do it. I'm gonna say this really quick. I've probably told the story before on the air, but I've done this 100 times if I've done it once. But I'm at a gas station. I pull up and I go in to do whatever. And I see this guy come up on a bicycle and he can't ride the bike. And he gets off the bike and he's got like palsy or something. He's got something wrong, right? He can't walk right. And he comes into the gas station and he was fumbling for some change and he was mumbling and I turned to him and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he kind of looked at me and I said, "You know what? Put your change away. Buy whatever you want right now. This whole gas station is yours." And he didn't even say a word. He looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "You don't get it. Buy whatever you want." And that dude went to town. He spun around, and you know what he got? He got 2 sandwiches. He got 2 bags of chips. He got 2 bottles of water. And I said, and he puts it on the counter. I said, "Is that it? Go get some more," right? And he turned around and he grabbed sensible stuff too. It was kind of weird. And didn't grab beer or anything like that. No. And he put a pile of stuff on the counter. And I paid for it. And look, dude is crying. He's crying. Oh. And he puts everything in the bag and I walked out and I watched him try to ride his bike away. He's got this big old bag of groceries now. And I get in the car and Rita goes, "You didn't." And I said, "I did." Right. And that's what you do. Recognize somebody once in a while, and I guarantee you he was happy. Right. And he never saw me again. He didn't know who I was. He doesn't know anything about me. And that's not even the point. You know, and that's what you're absolutely right, Walter. Live your life that way. Say hello to
Jimmy,
everybody.
I got two things for you real quick. One, that's the best thing I heard somebody say, that when you're having a hard time, you're almost invisible to everybody. That is a very true statement. And the next thing is, you know the Pantera girl that just called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend.
Walter, you guys have a good night, man.
All right, bye.
Have a great night. Time to Fade to Black with Walter. I've got to get to a commercial break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Thursday night, Fader night, open lines all night long. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, BX.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Poran Key, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and the full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony. Damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night, open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. I'm a big. It comes to me naturally. I've always been this way, but I get a charge out of helping people, and trust me, I'm not perfect. Oh, no, I've got my flaws, and I'm not some saint. Okay, I'm not. I am not. We don't need to go there. But I enjoy making somebody's day a little bit brighter. And I mean, I could spend the whole show giving examples of this, and it's I'm trying to show you that it's an enjoyable thing to go through. Just do it. Don't be nervous about it. Is somebody going to freak out? It was Christmas 2 years ago. It wasn't this past Christmas. It was 2 years ago. And I'm in line at the supermarket. And this lady in front of me had a wreath, a little wreath, Christmas wreath. And the guy rings it up and he goes, it's $21 or something. She goes, what? It didn't have a price tag on it. I didn't know it was that much. And he goes, yeah, it's $21. And she goes, I'm on my way to my mom's house for Christmas dinner. I don't have the money for this. And I said, do you want the wreath? She goes, yeah. I said, take it. What do you mean take it? Take it. Merry Christmas. Have a nice day. Right? And she looked at me, she goes, what do you mean? I said, just take the wreath. Take it. And so, she leaves. She couldn't believe it. And she waited for me outside. I mean, just tears. And to thank me that nobody had ever done that before. And at a moment like that, do it, right? Don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Just don't do it. I think it was in Laughlin. I'll get to calls in a second. I think it was Laughlin last year. It might have been Conscious Life Expo. I can't remember. But we're in line. Oh, it was Subway in the casino at Laughlin. And I was with Clifford Mahooty. Yeah, I was with Clifford. And it was taking forever. Anyway, there was like two people behind us in line, and I could hear them. Let's split a sandwich. I was like, what? And they were discussing and whatever. And I just turned and I said to the guy, I said, okay, whatever they want. And I backed up. I said, you guys just do whatever you want. Okay, we'll take care of it. That's what you do. And they went from splitting sandwiches to they both got foot-long double meat, cookies, drinks, chips. I loved it. And that's what you do. That's what you do. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Jimmy. This is Mike from Montana.
Hi, Mike from Montana. How are you?
Pretty good. I want to take you back to Saturday, November 6th, 1993.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember what you were doing on that day, but I can tell you what happened to me.
Okay.
November 5th, I was a CNC machinist working for a small company in Tennessee. Company burned to the ground on that morning, about 5 a.m. An arsonist had done it. So November 6th, the day after, Saturday, me and my friend, guy that I worked with, decided, you know what, this is our last check. The bills are paid. Let's just go to town and have a good time. So we end up in Nashville about 9 o'clock in the evening. I think we hit every bar in Nashville before we wandered down Printer's Alley.
Okay.
And I get to Printer's Alley, and there's a banner up. It says Gibson Amateur Night Blues Contest, something like that.
Yep, I know exactly. I know the bar that you're talking about too, where they do that at. Gibson does it there every. Okay, so go ahead, continue. When you walk in the stage, the stage is on your right, facing the bar. The bar is on your left.
Okay, and there's a balcony that it looks down on the stage.
That's right. That's
on
right.
your left.
The balcony's above the bar, looking down on the stage.
Right.
I've been there many times. Cool place, by the way. Tiny but cool.
Yes. Well, let me tell you what happened on this particular night in that particular bar that you and I seem to both know. My friend and I go in. We're 3 sheets, but lady lets us in. We go up to the balcony because there's no room on the floor. And there's a couple tables along the front, where the balcony is. So at the first table, there's an older man, a younger man, a man that's probably middle-aged, and a woman. And they look kind of out of place because they're dressed up. But I thought, this is Nashville. You get all kinds, right? Me and my buddy, straight out of the woods, overalls, redneck, and having a great time. So we order up a couple pictures, and we start hitting them, and kind of, just talking amongst ourselves, really in between breaks about the building burning down. And my buddy's saying, you're the best machinist in this whole state. And I was like, yeah, but, I'll find something. I just want to get you a job. Because he was my assistant, I was teaching him how to machine. So this older man is watching us and looking at us. And I turned to my friend. I said, is this old man watching us? And he said, yeah. And I said, all right. And I just didn't want to start something else, So anyway, the band plays on. The end of it happens. The old man stands up, turns around, hands me a card with a cell number. This is 1993. I don't even know what a cell phone looks like, So he hands me a card, and it's got a cell number written on the back of it. And he says, call me. And he walked away. And he said, call me when you sober up tomorrow. I had no idea who he was. So those people left. My buddy stayed on, and I stayed on until closing, and pretty much spent the next hour looking for the vehicle. And then we drove 70-some miles home. Next morning, I woke up on the couch. My friend saw the card laying on the table, picked it up, and he started going, oh, no, oh, no. And I was like, what? I was waking up, and he said, do you know who that dude was? And I said, no, I have no idea. And I said, that guy from last night? He said, yeah. He said, this card says Henry Juskowitz, CEO, Gibson, USA. And my heart stopped. I mean, literally stopped. And I said, no way. He said, yeah. And it says, call me at this number. So I called him. This is Sunday after, almost afternoon, about 11 o'clock. And I call him and explain to him, me and my buddy, what happened to us and all that. And he says, I want to hire you and your friend to run and program a brand new machine that I just bought. It costs $1 million, and I don't trust anybody to run this except somebody with experience. He said, how many years have you been doing this? And I said, 16. He said, do you have any experience programming? I said, 14. And he says, I want you here Monday morning. And I said, how about Monday afternoon? Because I worked nights, and I still wasn't acclimated to the day at all. So he said, all right, I'll put you on the afternoons. He said, be here at such time. I can't remember now, but it was plenty of time to get there. So I went there. He was laughing at me and my friend when we showed up Monday, because we were hammered pretty good, but I got hired at Gibson to be the lead machinist 2 weeks before Thanksgiving in 93. And the machinists, all of them that ran that department, that was the fretboards, the bodies, the necks, all of it, they left and went to learn how to machine or how to use this machine because it was going to take over everything, and they needed to learn how to do it, which wasn't simple because they didn't come back until August of 94. And basically from Thanksgiving of 93 to August of 94, I ran every solid body, every fretboard, every
almost every neck. They had another shift that actually ran some necks too, but it was a difficult task for anybody to take on by themselves, knowing it was the 100th anniversary, and it meant production was ramped up. And with that machine, I could do literally 500 bodies a night, 500 fretboards, and 250 necks. That was my quota every night.
That's incredible.
And I did that.
So
I did that for
because this was the Nashville plant. You're doing everything, right? You're doing flying V's, Explorers, Les Pauls, SGs, 335, whatever, right? And the necks and the bodies and the fretboards for everything.
Everything.
Wow, that's incredible. That is. Are you still there? Are you still at Gibson?
No, I actually retired a while back in 2015, but not from Gibson. After I think at the last count was 125,000 guitars that I actually had a hand in.
Phew.
I said, I am done. I don't ever want to see another guitar ever. Of course, I own, I don't know how many guitars, 10, 12.
Yeah.
So many amps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once it's in you, it never goes away. And it's been 20 some years now. And
Yeah, I have a bunch of Gibsons, and I've been lucky with each one of them because there's been complaints and things, and over the years I've been really lucky. And the Les Paul that's hanging right here, this one, that's a tribute. So that's got the weight relief in it and another thing. That neck on that is frigging insane. And it's got a tone, but it's also very, very light because it's got the 9 holes in the body, underneath the maple top. I have an SG standard up there. It's just a straight SG standard, which is a very nice guitar. It's not cheap. But that thing is flawless, man. Flawless. And that's just like what's hanging up the back of me. But I love Gibson. I love any guitar. I'm not really, if I'm really bonded to one brand, it would probably be Fender. Fender is the Strat is my guitar, and that's what I mean. It fits me, and it's what I grew up on. But I like ESP, I like Dean, I like Kramer, I like Ibanez. Just trying to think what else is hanging up in here. Charvel. What else is Jackson? Love my Jacksons. Epiphone. I've got a few Epiphones. And just as long as the guitar is something that's cool, it doesn't really matter. I'm not really brand loyal, except for maybe the Fender. Fender is something, but yeah, Gibson. There's something about it, man. That headstock when it says Gibson on the top of it, and that smell that a Gibson has when you open the case. Oh man, there's just nothing like it, man. Nothing like it.
Well, did you know did you remember the Centennial standards?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I made those. I made the bodies, the necks, the fretboards, and all that. Now, whenever a guitar went through the process, after me, it went to either custom department, they worked on it, or did something special, or whatever it was, or it went to basically through the rest of the plant and to the finished product. But the Centennials were special to me because I knew there was only going to be 100 of them.
Right.
And basically, I looked at Henry while I finished setting the machine up to do these. I looked at Henry and I said, I want one. And he just smiled, and I said, no, I'm serious. Otherwise, I hit this button.
So what'd you
dreams
get?
go
What'd
up.
you get? What'd you get? Les Paul? Centennial Les Paul?
Yeah, the Les Paul Centennial Standard.
Yeah.
I actually got the year I was born, which is not far from yours. I got to 1962.
Oh,
man. Yeah.
What color?
So that was mine. It's basically there's no real color to it. It's like a mild burst at most. They're like clear.
Yeah.
They're the natural color.
Yeah,
natural.
they call that the unburst. Yeah, I have one of those right there, right, hanging up in front of me. Hey, Mike, enjoy your weekend, man. That's a great story right there. That's amazing to me.
Jimmy.
Behave and be well, man. Fade to black, and happy Memorial Day.
Thank you.
It's a great phone call right there. And talking about, paying it back and paying it forward. That's an amazing story right there, man. And that is really, 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 really cool. I mean, after, the tragedy, right? Your company burns down and one door closes, another one opens. Pay attention. Call that number when you get it. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, Jimmy, it's Pat Strat.
Hey, Pat Strat. How are you?
How you doing? I have to applaud the last 3 nights because I was sitting here dumbfounded.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, they were great shows.
No doubt about it. All of them.
Yeah, and I like what you did to the Strat. Oh, that little sexy thing.
Which one?
The mini Strat.
Oh, the mini Strat. The mini Strat is special. Yeah, there's only one in the world. There's only one in the world. Let's see here. Let me move my microphone. He's talking about that guitar right there. And there you go. All right, the mini Strat.
I got a couple things now. Real quick, I sat and I watched the hearings last week, or whenever it was, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and I'm laughing at some of the things like, oh wow, he didn't know about the rocket, the nuclear weapons shutting down. All right. So people saying we got a foot in the door, and some saying, well, same old stuff. All right, I'm saying give it a chance, but if you don't get anywhere, you think a few subpoenas should fly?
Do I think?
A few subpoenas should fly later on.
Yeah, I think
it might not get there because, well, there's 70 years of BS. So,
well, that's a great question, Pat. And let me tell you why it's a great question. I don't know if you need a subpoena. If somebody is going to be asked to testify and answer questions about UFOs and UAPs, I think that you're going to say yes. And I don't think you're going to be, you're going to have to answer to a subpoena. Now, I would be surprised if somebody said, no, I'm not going to do it. And then, the committee turns around and subpoenas somebody to testify, to force them to testify. I think that anybody that would be asked to testify would want to do it. I don't think that somebody's going to have to be compelled to do it with a subpoena. Now, I could be wrong. But I just don't. I don't feel it. I don't see it that way.
In this case, would Representative Schiff put his foot in or step in? Or
well, you have to have somebody say no first, right? So to up the level to subpoena. I believe, I could be wrong. I don't understand Washington D.C. as well as others. But I know that the Senate has subpoena power. I'm assuming that the House of Representatives and Congress does too, right? That they have the ability to subpoena.
I forget.
Yeah. I don't know.
And the other thing, the other night with Mr. Bassett He's getting a little bit hot under the collar. I understand that. I said he wanted to know everything before we blow up. But one thing I agreed with him is that, and I've heard other people on the net say this, that you might not like what you find out. And I've heard other people say this. And I mean, you can't blame them in a way. Is like, who knows for sure? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, except let's look at it this way. All right, Pat, which is the committees, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about Congress or Senate, the committees know the information and the questions that they want to ask. They don't know the answers to those, but they know which direction they're going in. And anybody that they would turn around and ask to come in and testify to answer those questions, they know, right, the direction that all of this is going in. I don't think that we're going to get any surprises if the questions get asked, and the surprise would be, are they going to answer them honestly? That would be the surprise. But I think by and large, and that includes the public, let alone the representatives or the senators, I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by the line of questioning. And if the answers are there, I don't think anybody's going to be surprised either. The point to all of this is getting the information out and confirming, under sworn testimony, what is going on. So now, would there be a surprise? No, I'm more surprised that these hearings are happening, and I can tell you right now, I'm speaking matter of factly. There is stuff going on as we speak. There is another hearing that is about to happen, and that is that. I'm telling you right now. This is Thursday. Today and tomorrow, there are conversations happening in Washington, D.C. about future hearings. I'm telling you right now, this is a fact.
One more quick question. I caught another podcast, I think, a couple nights ago that Mr. Elizondo was on. And he said he was done with podcasts for a while. Is that because he went on vacation or he's just going to be in the background now?
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
He said... I think the name of it was DJ or something or other. So he said, "You guys were lucky because I'm not doing any more podcasts."
Right. I think that Lou is busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on, not only with Washington, D.C., but he's writing his book, and he's got other stuff that is taking up his time. And things are very, very busy, and he's got people that depend on him. So
more or less, he's going to lay low.
It's that doing a podcast, and Lou's a nice guy, and it's very hard for him to say no. Then people, contact him, and he wants to speak. He wants to be out there. He wants people to know. He doesn't want to hide. So he says yes to everything. So I
want him out there, yeah.
Right. But I just feel that I haven't spoken to him about this, but that he needs to focus on some other stuff right now.
Right.
And that's it. That's it. So, yeah, I could see him saying that. I'm going to ask him. I'll ask him. And I'll repeat his answer on the air.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to fade to black.
All right, Pat. Have a great night and enjoy your weekend, my man. Great phone call. Thank you so much, and thank you for holding. And I've got to take a break. This is Thursday night. It is Fader night. It is open lines all night long. More of your phone calls when I come back. This is Fade to Black and the Game Changer and UnX Networks. Ray Hobbs, I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls right after this short break. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Un-X Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
This is Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. One segment left, 747-228-2051. All right, and I'll get back to the calls here in just a second. I was just talking about Lost in America earlier, Black 22, and Lisa just posted here, Lisa Reed. She said, Lost in America is how Dizzy and I were, hiccuped. Oh, no, here we go, sneezing and hiccups. She says, long story, man, but true, 2/22/22. She really likes 22. The Desert Inn has heart. And back then, and Lisa remembers this, and I remember when they got married. Okay, so anyway, back then, Sid, the drummer for The Wild, Dizzy from Guns N' Roses was the keyboard player in this band. And we were recording the Wild's album at this studio in North Hollywood somewhere, or Van Nuys, North Hollywood. But Sid had a roulette wheel. Lisa, you remember Sid's roulette wheel? And it was like a real roulette wheel. and roll out the felt, and we were sitting there, we're recording, and we would play roulette. I mean, it was like 24 hours a day, man. Just solid, doing nothing but quoting Lost in America. That's all we did, man. It was Lost in America, and constantly betting on Black 22. And it was hilarious. It was a good time. And Sid made a lot of money off of us because he was the house. And that was good times, Lisa. Yeah. Lost in America was such a part of our culture, our little friend circle. Man, I can just quote from that movie all day long. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. Who's calling? How'd you do that?
Hear that? I used my voice recorder, and I went under the overpass there on the White River Parkway last week. You know White River Parkway, and down there by you know where White River Parkway is at.
Yep.
And I got under the overpass. I shut the truck off, rolled down the windows, used the voice recorder on my phone.
Man, that thing is loud. That's louder than the original horn.
Well, that's because I used my wife's phone, her voice recorder, put it on her phone because I can't do them both on my phone, and I just hit play on her phone and held it up to my Bluetooth.
Oh, that is too funny.
Hey, this is JT calling from Indy, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, we know, JT. How's retirement?
Great. It's great, man. I'm digging it. I'm so happy. Everybody's like, man, you look younger. I'm like, losing weight. You know, I've been losing weight. You know, I'm down to 500 now from 502. So
Right. So,
did you see this picture? Oh, go ahead.
No, you first. Go ahead.
I sent this picture last week. People say, well, how'd you get into the drums? You know. And I was going through some files, and I said, what the heck is this? And man, I opened that file up and just tweeted it out there, and I was like, dude, 3 years old, 3 years and 9 months old. And it turned 4 in March, and December of '62. My grandma bought me my first drum set.
Wow.
And
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, I've got it here. Okay.
Yeah, that's my grandpa sitting there in the background.
Look at that.
Is that something? I couldn't believe I found that picture. I don't know if my sister sent that to me or she found it somewhere, you know, going through their stuff back, after they passed away years ago or what.
Yeah.
Like, holy, can I play? I don't know. I don't know if I can play or not. I've been playing a long time.
Oh, man, that is
60
classic.
years, man. I've been playing 60 years.
That is a crazy picture. What year do you think that is?
That's 62.
Yeah, 62.
62.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is insane.
I would have turned 4 in March of '63. So,
So what's on your mind, JT? What's going on?
Just talking drums, man. Drummers. We talked about all the obvious ones, Alex and Van Halen, and I got to remember to say their last names.
Right.
Parrot, But just
Alan,
I got some names, like Brian Hitt, man.
Alan White.
Speedway.
Yeah, Alan White died today from Yes. Yeah, and he was a big time.
No way, I didn't hear that one. My
Yeah.
wife told me Ray Liotta died in his sleep last night.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Yeah, crazy.
But the most influent, I gotta say, okay, so I had that drum set, but really, when I really remember started playing, was early high, early junior high. I had a Slingerland pearl white set, but I'd be in the basement. I'd take that LP, double LP, Live Bullet, Bob Seger, track 1, side 1, and I'd put that needle down, and I'd just put the headphones on. And so I gotta say, probably one that really taught me to play was Charlie Martin. Back there, he's the drummer on Live Bullet.
Right.
And man, I'd go through that front to back, both discs, or both LPs, all 4 sides, nonstop, over and over and over. So unless my mom come home early, and she would first thing, I had my headphones on, so she would stand at the top of the stairs and flip this light switch off and on. No time to stop, Mom's home.
Well, Bob Seger, this is the no joke. Bob Seger had the best band that you could ever put together. And Drew Abbott was a scary guitar player, man.
I know, man, and they just are so I don't want to say underrated, but nobody really knows who they are.
Right. His bass player, Chris Campbell, amazing bass player, man. Charlie Martin,
Alto, didn't Alto just pass away
Reed
2 years ago?
Yeah. Alto Reed, man, can't leave Alto Reed out of the conversation.
Heck no, heck no.
Yeah, the Silver
But
Bullet Band.
The hardest, I think, one of the hardest songs to play, start to finish. And I did research on it, and I don't know if you know, but Hollywood Nights, it's like the downbeat go, and you go as fast as you can.
Well,
did you know? Go ahead. I want to see if we're on the same page. Go ahead.
Listen, Bob Seger was a frigging songwriter, man, and I mean, of the highest caliber. And the way that he would record, he was a professional. He took this very, very, very serious. He had the absolute best musicians around him, and he went to the studio prepared.
Backup vocalists.
The backup vocals were incredible in his band, and his songs, by the time he got to the studio, they were fine tuned. And that's Bob Seger was no joke. Is no joke. But
Hollywood Nights, though. Did you know? I don't know if you know this. That the original drummer was David Teagarden. When he starts that, it's on the hi hat. It just comes in, boom, and then that snare drum shuffle he's doing. It's just a shuffle thing they're doing, But if you listen close on that, you hear a ride cymbal on the crown of the ride, because they did a dub that second track, and there's actually 2 drum tracks by David Teagarden on that.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you look it up, and then I can't remember the guy's name that played it on who was it? Guy played it on the 9 to Night Live album when he was on tour with him. He's like, how am I supposed to play that? Bob Seger says, you got to figure it out, man. Because they used two drum tracks on that. And that's why you'll hear, there's a real good breakdown of that Rick Beto, the guy that does all his videos, the music instructor.
Rick Beato.
He breaks that.
Yeah.
Beato. Oh, man. Dude, he breaks that down track by track, and it's like, what?
Well, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I've seen Bob Seger so many times live, and I would sit there and listen to how tight the band was. And it was just like crazy greatness going on. And I would just sit there and I would watch Drew Abbott. It's such a precise, every note, everything. He was just a precise guitar player. And you know how it is. Country bands are that way. You go to Nashville, and you go to any bar in Nashville, and every band,
in Broadway, man, everybody's a great guitar player there.
Every drummer, every bass player, every backup singer, everything is perfection. And that's what Bob Seger was. Bob Seger's bands were just perfect. You're right about that. I mean, Charlie Martin was incredible. Alto Reed, like I said, Drew Abbott, man, that was just a Silver Bullet Band, man, was no joke. Well, listen, JT, let me get to some more calls. I want you to enjoy your retirement and your new job and your new drum set, and I'll talk to you next week. And enjoy your Memorial weekend, my man. Thank you so much.
All right, here it is. Let's see if I can do it again. Try it anyway. Fade to black, everybody. Number 624 to 26.
Thank you so much, JT. JT from Indy. Thank you so much. Time to fade to black. That's a great phone call right there. Bob Seger in his day, right? Wow. That's a tough one to crack. When I was a kid, now I'm going back to 76, 77, 76, 77, when Night Moves was playing every 15 minutes on the radio. And I would listen to that at night in the dark in my bedroom. That to this day, that song affects me deeply. And that is because Bob Seger can write. He is a songwriter. There's no question about that. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. Who's calling? You're live. No, we can't. Okay, you're breaking up. That is weird. I can. It's chipmunking. Okay, I'm going to leave everybody on hold. I want you to call me right back. I will pick up the line. Okay, so let's see if I can. I'm just gonna stay right here because somebody was really trying to get through, and let's see if I can make it happen. All right, I will just sit and wait. Come on, call me back. Call me back. I'm just trying to be polite. What was Night Moves? I mean, it was something crazy about that song on a little AM radio on my nightstand and how it sounded coming out of that little speaker. Okay, let's try this one more time. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. Who's calling? Nope. Do you have me on speakerphone or something? Bluetooth? Do you need to turn something off? Okay, there. Are you there? This is. Oh, man. I don't know what to say, but I gave it my best shot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'll keep my eye out if you want to try to call back, but get some bars on your phone. Maybe that's it. I don't know. That's really unfortunate. Okay, let's see. Oh, I don't have anybody else. Oh, wow. Okay, phone lines are open. 747-228-2051. There you go. 747-228-2051. I've got time for one or two more calls tonight. I've been fighting sneezing all night long. All night. Just all night long. Crazy. Eyes tearing up. And that you know what you go through right before you sneeze, right? Your nose, the tingling, the eyes water, right? Boom. And I've been dealing with that all night long, live on the radio. Just absolutely brutal. Okay, let's see here. Hold on. I'm going to put you on hold. And let's grab this. And I'm going to put you on hold. You just stay right there. And then let's jump over to here. And then let's go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Tony from Arizona.
Hey, Tony from Arizona. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing? Didn't want to leave you hanging there. It's you never can have dead air, right?
Oh, man, I can talk for 3 straight hours. It's just really weird. I had stuff covered up, so I didn't realize, and then I went back to my call list, and I've never seen it empty. And I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I didn't want to see it empty either, so I had to call in.
So what's on your mind?
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Hi, all the Fadernauts. Have a good night tonight. Have a great weekend. There's just a song that I've been hearing recently that I've been playing guitar for probably 28 years, if not longer. This song just changed almost everything overnight to where I can't get it out of my head. It's just constantly there. It's called Playing God by Polyphia. If you ever get a chance to hear it, there's an acoustic version with Tim Henson playing it, and there's the band Polyphia playing it. Take your pick on either or. I think you'll have dreams about it the next few days.
Okay, I will check it out. Something tells me I've heard it. And I remember an acoustic version, but I'm going to go and check it out.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch.
I'll talk to you. Thank you so much, Tony.
All right,
Behave
man.
and be well and enjoy your weekend.
You too, man. Have a great night. Fade to black, man.
Fade to black. That's Tony from Arizona. And Playing God, why does this ring a bell? All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Mark in Indianapolis.
Mark in Indianapolis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what part of Indy?
I live right off of I-70 at exit 91, right off of Post Road, around 25th and Post.
No, you don't. Stop with that.
Yes, I do.
That's where I used to live.
Yes, I do.
That's where I used to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
And I went to Warren Central, graduated in 96, and then I went to DePaul.
Shut up.
In Greencastle.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Graduated in 2000. I was a German major.
Wow.
And then I went to Indiana State, and I got my master's degree in teaching English as a second language.
Okay, so I used to live at 25th and Midhofer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're at 20, just so everybody knows. Post Road and Midhofer are the two streets that are next to each other. And 25th Street connects those two streets. So where he's at, the 70, which is the highway that went through everybody's backyards, if you shoot up, half mile up the road, you come up to my intersection, 25th and Midhofer. And so if you go straight down 25th, towards German Church, which, as you know, Mark, is the next street. I lived between Midhofer and German Church on 25th Street. So you just pull a left into that neighborhood right there, and that's where I lived. So, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. 25th and Post. 25th and Post Road.
There's a Lowe's and a Steak and Shake and a Circle K and a Cracker Barrel and an Outback Steakhouse, you know, all that stuff.
Yep, I do actually.
Yeah, I live in the neighborhood right next to that.
Yeah, that is just too funny. That's where I grew up, man. Right there. That's my neighborhood. Right there. 25th
Yeah,
and Post.
I heard a while back, I was listening to your show, and he said some guy came up to you in a field, and he said something about
have you seen
where's
my
dog?
Yep. And that happened.
Yeah.
That happened up on German Church Road. Not too far from where you are. I mean, so if you go up 25th Street to German Church and hang a left, there is Stony Brook Junior High School, right? You know where Stony Brook is.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Stony Brook.
Right. So it was right next to Stony Brook. So you go down German Church, and where that happened was right there, like 30th Street and German Church Road.
That's interesting because I have a friend from who I went to Stony Brook with, and his dad's house is right around there, and they've actually got like some woods, and because he has land too. The friend's name is David Brinkman. I don't know if that rings a bell.
No,
but
it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm surprised it doesn't because I thought I knew everybody there, but
yeah, we were class of '96.
So you went to Stony Brook. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Sunny Heights. Sunny Heights right there at 30th and Post.
Yep.
The old Sunny Heights.
Yep.
Before it moved in front of Stony Brook.
So across the street from Stony Brook was a farm right across the street. And there was a white farmhouse. The white farmhouse is still there. The barn that used to be there was two big barns. The barns are no longer there. I've been by there now, and it's no longer there. But that barn, directly across the street from Stony Brook, we played. That's where our band would play backyard parties on that farm. And I'm telling you, man, back in the 80s, that was a cool place to hang out. That was
really,
man. We had the state police there. Oh man, it was awesome. Throwing those big kegger parties right there, man, across the street from your junior high school. Stony Brook is pretty cool. It's a big school. That's my neighborhood. So if
I played clarinet and band at Stony Brook. My teacher's name was Mr. Auble.
That is just too funny. And you went to Warren Central too. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Warren. I played clarinet and band there with Mr. Hilmer.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the band director or the teacher was when I went there. I didn't take band. But there you go. Okay, so I got 2 minutes left, Mark. You called me. What's up?
Well, I actually sing, but I haven't really been doing it. I was in an accident in Saudi Arabia about 5 years and 9 months ago. I was running across the street. I had a job teaching English in a university there, and it was late at night, like 1 a.m, and I was trying to get to a restaurant, and it was during Ramadan, so it was really hot during the day. So I fell asleep, and when I woke up, it's like 1 a.m, but the restaurants were open. So I was trying to run across the street. I got hit by a car. It damaged my spine. And I got 6 guitars in my house, but I don't even play them because I've been dealing with this chronic back pain for so long. And I know you know a lot of musicians and stuff. And I was wondering if you could hook me up with somebody I could just maybe sing with every once in a while. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it professionally because of my back pain, but it might be nice to meet somebody and just, hang out on the weekend and sing some songs and that kind of thing.
What I would do if I was you, Mark, I would go to 2 areas. I would go to the Fade to Black fan page on Facebook. Join that group and tell everybody there you're Mark from Indy that called in on Fader Night and that you're looking for people to play with. There are tons of people from Indy in that fan page. And then post on Twitter. Post on Twitter, hashtag F2B in the sandbox, and tell everybody, this is Mark from Indy. I just talked to Jimmy. I'm looking for some musicians here in Indianapolis to play with. And the Fadernauts will come and find you. Easily done.
Really?
Easily done. They're listening to us right now. They're actually going, I hope Mark does that post so we can hook up. All right, so don't play around. Go post in the Fade to Black fan page and post in Twitter, and it'll happen. All right?
Yeah, and I actually sing pretty well. I sing kind of like Peter Gabriel, I think, in my opinion.
Well, I already have the name of the band. Fade to Black.
Do you have a band in mind?
Fade to Black.
Oh, you want to? We can use your name for our band.
Sure. I'll talk to you, Mark.
I love it.
Enjoy your Memorial weekend. Memorial is a big weekend in Indianapolis, and you guys are throwing down. So have a good time, and I'll see you Monday right here on Fade to Black. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. Time
to Fade to Black. Now, Mark, post. All right? Don't play around. Post over in the Fade to Black fan page. Post in Twitter, hashtag F2B. What a great night. Another amazing Fader night here on Fade to Black. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with my allergies and my sneezing and my puffy eyes and yeah. See, I'm doing it now. Fade to Black is produced by Hill J. Palmer, Renee Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark T. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll see everybody on Monday. I think Monday we've got Ross Coulthard from Australia. Yeah. I'll see everybody on Monday. Have a great, safe, fun, amazing Memorial weekend. Be safe. It's time to fade to black.